Welcome to my channel, my beautiful viewers, once again. Today I'll be teaching you how the mind control game works. Everybody is saying he wants to be free, and in the quest of that freedom, you walk into your own prison. That is the prison of your mind, where there are no chains and there are no padlocks in any gates, but you don't know you are in prison. That is your mind, and that is the worst prison. So I'm going to teach you how the mind game works, how they work on your mind. Let me tell you how it works. The first starts to work on your unconscious. That is how the mind game works. First of all, I'm going to make an illustration. They work on your mind subconsciously, and before you realize and know what is happening, it has become your reality. Let me set an example to you. First of all, in the early 90s and 80s, when I started growing up and having my own sense, I used to think homosexuality was evil. It was highest level of perverseness. It was dirty. Then they started. I love watching movies, mostly Hollywood movies. Now Hollywood is the major tool they use to get into because Hollywood is the biggest movie industry. So once anything they portray in their movie, the other smaller movies of every other country would want to emulate, they copy, and that is how they distribute perverseness into the whole world. Now, they started in every movie, you will see that there is either a homosexual woman and a man, or there is always a way they put it, but they'll put it in a funny way you won't know. They could either portray the homosexuals as bad people in the movie. Now you're looking at least now you're beginning to know there are homosexuals, but now you're looking at them as bad people. Then subconsciously they started even showing homosexual people that are married in movies. Now you are starting to get comfortable with it. They are selling that idea for you in your subconscious without you knowing. Now they use the Hollywood, the movies, to sell homosexuality to you, but now we are living the reality. Now we have homosexuals. We have the LGBT. They even have a movement where they are fighting for their right. We have gay homosexual pastors in the church who are getting homosexual people married in the church. You see how they work on your subconscious without you knowing? To the extent that now we have the transgender. Look at what the LGBT, this community are fighting. They are fighting for you now to allow your children to make a choice if they want to be a woman or a man. Now it's not about being homosexuals any longer. It's about transgender. Now it's for your kid to change their God-given reproductive organ. A man can decide to go under operation and be a woman. That means God doesn't know what he's doing when he created you a man or woman. You are correcting God's perfect creation. Can you see what's happening? And these movies you allow your children to watch. You don't even parental guidance. You don't sit down to watch to see what your children are watching. Then secondly, I'll be talking of the second way they come into your subconscious without you knowing. Let me tell you the trickiness and the craftiness and crookedness of the devil. The devil is very wise. He's good at what he does. So the devil is not going to come at you with his tail and his horns in his identity, because he knows you are going to recognize him and rebuke him immediately. So he comes in very, very diverse and crooked and disguised way, which you can never recognize him. He acts very innocent. That's why he used innocent. He could even come through a little infant or baby where you can never recognize him. Or that's why he mostly used women. Because women, you think women are soft, they can't do anything. Before you know, women are the most dangerous weapon that the devil has used. All the great men on earth were slain or brought down by women. That is to show you the devil uses the people that you think are very weak. Those are the people he uses to carry out his dastard acts. Then secondly, now we'll be talking about, even in Nollywood now, you see Hollywood, you see that the numbers of divorce we have mostly is from the Hollywood. They're divorced, they get married and divorce as if it's nothing. And let me tell you, there is a group they are breeding now. They are saying people should not even get married again, that they believe in freedom. For what are we willing to sacrifice? What are we willing to sacrifice for this thing we call freedom? That is why they use democracy to make you imprisoned in your mind. They always sell this idea of freedom to you. Look at what happened in Libya. Libya people they said Gaddafi is a dictator, but go to Libya now and see what is happening. They just took him out of the way by selling freedom. to the citizens. Now they are suffering. The people, those people just wanted the oil and whatever it is that there was in that land. Then they sold the idea of freedom to the people. Now they brought that person down that was fighting for their right. Now they are suffering for that freedom they said they wanted so badly. So the devil is going to sell the idea of freedom to you by democracy. Now they are saying marriage is even a bondage to a woman. The woman needs to have equal rights with a man. That you are defying God's plan. God said the man is authority over woman and God is authority over man. Now they are making, the women are beginning to say they don't even want to get married any longer because they don't want, marriage is like slavery. It's a second slavery, it's chain. So they prefer to even give birth to children outside or get divorced instead of just being in marriage. Therefore, they are mocking God's plan and creation. Do you know what is happening now? And let me tell you, the second thing is the worst form of instrument the devil used to get at humans is the fear. He puts fear in you. The fear of war, the fear of COVID-19. Let me tell you what is happening in the background that you don't know. And I'm going to tell it to you as it is. If you know what is happening, let me tell you what is happening. You see your number, your phone number. Now your phone number is linked to everything you own on earth. From your school, to your certificates, to your CV you used to applying for job, to your bank, everything of yours is linked to your phone number. That is just the beginning. Now you have a number without you even knowing. And as the world goes by, it will get to a point where that number will be made smaller and it will be made into a chip. And that chip, now they will ask you that it is either it is planted. Your phone number, you can be tracked anywhere in the world through your phone. If you don't know that, know this now. So by the time they make that number into a smaller chip, they will ask you to either plant it in your head or in your right hand, like the way it is. And without that number in your head or your hand, you can't buy or sell. And let me tell you how they are doing that. Now they are selling the idea